Hey Springfield, this is Dominique Gabriella, and you are watching Behind the Scene. And tonight we have Steve Ames.
Hello.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. It's been an exciting, adventurous evening.
Definitely has. You guys, this won't be posted until later, but you need to go back and see the live. Yeah.
I was on fire.
Yeah.
Lit this room up.
It's great. It's great. You need to watch it. Anyway, so how long have you been part of the music scene here in Springfield?
Well, I've been playing guitar and singing out in bars since like the late 90s, the mid to late 97-ish, the mid-late 90s. Mm-hmm. But before that, I was, I moved here to go to school and do like opera and theater, so I was doing things like the Landers and the Vandervoort before I started playing guitar and kind of getting out into the world.
Mm-hmm. And so you're not originally from here?
No, I'm from Decatur, Illinois. Right, yeah. Smack dab in the middle of the state, soybean capital of the USA.
So how long have you been playing music in general?
Well, I've been singing and doing stuff my whole life, like, choir and show choir and doing plays and, shows and stuff like that, pretty much since I was little. I didn't start playing guitar and writing songs till I was probably 20 years old, something like that.
Wow. Sorry, hearing the urban sounds that are out there.
That's the gritty realism that we're after. This is the Snyder Cut.
Yeah, downtown. Center of downtown almost. Mm-hmm. That's what you get.
And when you're alone.
Right?
Life's getting lonely.
So what bands are you in currently?
Currently I do, of course, solo stuff, and then my kind of regular band is the Hamburger Cows. Has been. Has been for, I don't know, we've been playing for 8 or 9 years or something. It just, time flies anymore, like years just keep stacking up, so. But that's me and Bo Brown and Jeff Sowards, and then a rotating sort of list of guest drummers and other people that hang out with us.
What style of music do you do?
Oh, I don't know, like Americana, like kind of a funky, folky Americana, like this little blues, little bluegrass, little folk, little funk. It's kind of
a little bit of everything.
Yeah, a little roots rock, I guess you'd call it. I don't really know.
Awesome. Yeah. Any other projects you're working on?
Me and Kyle Young. I know you know Kyle. Yeah. He moved to Eureka Springs, but whenever he's around, we play together as alternately the potential Grizzlies or Womp Donkey, depending on sort of the mood and level of inebriation for the night.
Awesome. Yeah. So do you travel much with your music and everything?
Not really anymore. Like the farthest I'm likely to go would be like to Eureka Springs or, like Rolla or Lake of the Ozarks, somewhere like that. Buffalo, of course, I'll travel up there and play at the Meadery. But yeah, when my younger days, we'd travel a little farther, like, get into Oklahoma a little bit and up to Illinois and played St. Louis a bunch. But I just kind of, got my gigs of playing, which is nice. I like it that way, so.
So Steve, what got you into music?
Well, like I was saying before, I've been singing pretty much my whole life. Doing plays and choir and whatnot. And then my freshman year of college, I had this roommate. I always of course like guitars and rock and roll and all that stuff, but I just never thought about actually playing guitar. And then my roommate Keith Owens, who's a Springfield resident now. Which is a whole other story. We met in Charleston, Illinois, is where we actually met one another. Anyway, he played guitar, and he would, we'd be in the dorm room, and he'd be playing and singing, and I'd be like, man, that looks like a lot of fun and something I'd like to explore. So went out the next year, like I thought on it for a while, and when I moved down here, went and got a guitar and a chord book and started listening to stuff and playing along, and then started going out to open mics and met Mark Ballou, who we were talking about earlier. Yeah. Mark used to host an open mic night at the bar next door,
back in the day.
Yeah, way back in the day, last century kids. And so I would go down there every week, and Mark was great. He was super encouraging, and I just kept plugging away and trying to get better.
Wow. Well, that's really awesome.
Yeah, so I started writing songs and playing out, and me and my roommates were like, "Hey, let's make a band," and so that's how that started.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Well, let's get to your first song.
All right.
And tell me a little bit about that.
The first song is called Janie, alternately titled TK's Love Song. It was written as part of my participation in Wild Bob's Musical Book Club, which I know like everything's on hold because of COVID, right. So they haven't done it for a while. I don't know if it'll come back. It's immaterial. Neither here nor there. What it is, though, Wild Bob's, for those who don't know, was a Springfield event that was put on by a council of librarians, and every month they would pick a book and ask whatever songwriters wanted to participate, hey, read this book, write a song, about the book, about how you feel about the book, about a theme of the book, about whatever. There's like no rules except read the book and write a song. And so did that fairly regularly over the course of like 2 years, as often as I could. So anyway, Janie was inspired by the book Their Eyes Were Watching God by Zora Neale Hurston, and it's a song written from the perspective of this young fella who's romantically interested in and in love with. I mean, he's in love with this lady who's a little older, like I think in the book she's 40 maybe, and he's in his 20s. And she's been through the ringer twice now, married to 2 terrible men. And then this young guy, handsome, smooth-talking guy comes along, and she thinks he's like putting him on and after her money. And he has to go to, some great lengths to convince her of the integrity of his intentions. And so that's kind of the point of view of the song, is him singing to her like, no, like I'm here for this, I'm here for you, like I'll do it how you need it done, like, let me into your heart kind of a thing. So
well, we were listening to it earlier, and it's so beautiful, so excited to show this. We're going to get to that and be right back.
My hook and my crook, as they say. We'll fix it in distribution. Till you come around.
so we are back now with Steve Ames.
Oh, hello.
Now, so with the Wild Bob Book Club, would that be your favorite book that you read, or is there another one?
Oh man, we read so many great books. Yeah, no, I mean it's you can't. It's hard. You can't pick a favorite book. Like it's, I don't know. It's like you can't pick. I can't pick a favorite flavor ice cream because they're all great. Like books, they're all different and offer different things, and perspectives, and feelings, and points of view.
Maybe
the most exciting. I mean, I don't know. We did like Winter's Bone, which was super awesome. Yeah. We did. We did one time. We did. They would do a choose your own adventure, so everybody picked their own book, which was fun. One year we did The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, like the whole series, basically. And then one year they did like Harry Potter, the series, which is, I wrote a heavy metal song for it. It's the only heavy metal song I ever wrote on an electric guitar.
You have it recorded?
It's, well, just the video. I'll send you the video from the Wild Bob's.
That's awesome.
I mean, I was like, the book's about wizards and sorcerers and witches, and heavy metal is the musical vocabulary of wizardry, so I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer.
Harry Potter, now hearken to the tale of the boy who lived. He lived underneath the stairs. That's all the Dursleys would give. Till the stroke of midnight of his 11th year, Hagrid burst through the door. Said, Harry, I'm taking you out of here. Would you belong at Hogwarts, School of Wizardry and Law? You must learn the magic arts from the mighty Dumbledore. Now the things that he must show you of your past and present fate. See your family, they were murdered. Now he will not be named
I don't know, probably the thing that was the most fun to do was 50 Shades of Grey. They picked that one year for Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
And I honestly tried to read it. I bought a copy of it and I sat down and read maybe 100 words. I flipped through it, just read passages here and there, and I couldn't read it. I just couldn't read the book. And so what I did instead was I wrote a real sexy, funky, kind of melody and chord progression, and then I went to the Pantone.com color palette website and found 50 literal names of shades of gray.
Oh my
and
God.
set them to this melody that I had composed. Well, I didn't even compose a melody. It was the whole thing. Even the performance was half off the cuff. Like I had a chord progression and a few highlights that I knew I wanted to hit, like internal jokes I wanted to make in the lyrics and stuff. But like the melody was like mostly improvised and like just, so that was, and that night generally was so very much fun because all the songs were just like bonkers and hilarious. And like, because nobody really could take it seriously, I mean, some people did address some of the like shittier themes of the book and like, it's the abusive relationship between the two of them or whatever, but a lot of it was a little more like just like, whoa.
Just whoa.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, never read the book myself.
So that was great fun. Some of the songs from All Bob's have made their way into like our regular band playlist. Like for Winter's Bone, the song "The Snitch" is a song that we do like every show pretty much. So that's a big fun song. Like
So it's not going on anymore.
Not as far as I know. I think they had actually stopped doing it before COVID, but I had stopped. Kind of my schedule changed, and I just didn't really have time, to kind of commit to it anymore. So.
Well, it still sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah,
somebody needs to pick that back up.
Go to their Facebook page. You can watch all the videos between their Facebook page and their YouTube channel. Everything that anybody ever did is up there.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. I need to check that out. So you also did a lot of the Queen City Shout.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do that every year. Eddie Gamusio is like just a shining gem of a human.
Yes, he is.
Gives like so much time and effort and just passion to that thing. So it's really an honor to be asked to do it. So whenever he calls, I'm like, shit, yeah, man, let me know when and where. So I'll usually do that as a solo act and with the Cows both.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, I think he was our first interview for the show. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, we did it over Zoom because it was still, you know. Where else have you played around town? Or where have you played in town?
Man, like well, currently, like, you know, we played at Lindbergh's a bunch. We played the Flea all the time, and I played the Vandervoort and like Papo's, and you know, we used to play at the Daily Pub a lot when it was still a Daily Pub. Played at Galloway Station for years and years. You know, Harlow's before like old school Flea for all you old heads out there. Yeah, man, just anywhere they'll have us, really.
Right.
Like we'll show up and crack open the cases and have at it, you know.
That's awesome. Well, now Daily Pub is Carrie's.
Yeah, we played at Carrie's.
Oh, that's awesome.
Well, I tell you what, the cows have not played at Carrie's. Yeah. I've played at Carrie's sitting in with other people. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice place. We frequent there a lot.
Yeah, no, it's great. I love Carrie's. It's a great place.
So let's get into the music, part of it, the music industry part of it, the business part. Do you promote yourself?
Yeah, well,
or do you have a manager?
No, yeah. I'm the manager and promoter for both myself and for the Hamburger Cows. Like, manager is a loose term for the cows. Like, I book the shows, and then we do like Facebook promotions, you know, like, and that's about the extent of things. Like, it's way different than it used to be. Like, I used to back in the day with like Uncommon Sense and those Smoker Green and the Rollers. Like, I would like hump it to promote a show. Like, I'd be out hanging flyers all over town, and you know, like just handbills and just, you know, I mean, it was a full-time job. Now it's just like, hey guys, hey, come see me play. You know, like if I'm feeling froggy, I might do a live video. You know, like, but. Yeah, the promotional side of things is way different and less, like, at least for me, it's way less active. And part of that's just being older and having less energy for it. You know? I would love to have a manager, frankly. If there's anybody out there watching right now who would like a piece of this, like, get a hold of me. Steve Ames. You can find me on Facebook. Yeah, it'd be great. That's kind of the only thing, literally the only thing about playing music I don't enjoy. Is like having to like book shit. Not that I love like talking like everybody I book with, like all the bar owners and managers that are booking partners are great to work with, but it's just like a lot of legwork and a lot of it'd be nice to just play and sing, you know.
So
like,
would you think
especially
that
when you have a full-time day job?
Oh, absolutely. So do you think is that the hardest part of the business side is booking yourself?
Yeah, for me, I mean, it's it's difficult. You know, it's especially booking. Like that's the thing. Like over COVID, like there's places that still had shows, but it'd be places I've never played, and like trying to establish all new relationships with people I don't know. Like, I mean, I've never been really comfortable like selling myself. Like, hey man, I'm fucking awesome. Have me come play at your place and give me money. You know, and it's like. It seems like easier to let somebody else have those conversations in the third person, but like it's just, I mean, it's kind of, it can just be frustrating, because you love what you do and you clearly like believe in what you're doing or you wouldn't be doing it, but then like to have to justify it to people and just go through the physical action of doing it, it's kind of, it kind of gets, wearing, I guess, after a while. Is there anything that
you've noticed that gets attention more than other things to promote yourself?
I mean, no, I'm really not the best person to ask, probably, because I don't do a lot of promoting. Like I said, we just do the Facebook events and occasionally like a little live video. I mean, if I was better at promoting, we'd probably travel more and play more. Right? Yeah, it's those steps. That's why I got into music managing, because there's a lot of work to it. It really is. And I've played that role in every band I've ever been in. Yeah. So like I've essentially like managed and done the booking and all that stuff, and which is cool, like. And then you create the lyrics to the songs then. Yeah. I mean, I've been the primary songwriter in most of the groups I've been in also, which is, it's also fine. It's hard sometimes to muster the energy, like I used to, but I think that's just, again, part of getting older. Like I used to really work it. Like back in the day, I'd be on the phone like all day long, calling venues all over the Midwest and like sending out press packets and like, like demos and stuff. And it's just hard to keep up with that kind of stuff anymore.
Yeah.
Even though it's easier. It's easier to make that. Just make an EPK and hit send, but somehow it's more difficult.
Yeah. Emails get missed, and you're not right in front of their face.
Yeah.
Like, here's my EPK.
Yeah, but that's also. I really like playing. All the places, like I said, like Tiny Timber. I'm playing there Friday night. I'm looking forward to that a lot. Hold Fast, like all the breweries in town and the bars. Like, it's just nice playing smaller shows and singing your songs. And it's just like, yeah.
So, what do you like about Springfield's music scene?
Oh man. What's not to like?
Right.
It's Springfield has always been really, to me anyway. Everybody I guess has their opinion, but it's always been really welcoming and like real fertile ground. Like there's all kinds. Or like I've lived here 25 years and I've seen all kinds of different bands and known all kinds of different people that play all kinds of different music, and every single one of them, mostly, have been super, just nice, good people, and a lot of them are like super creative and incredibly talented, and like there's just a bunch of like we were talking earlier, there's just a lot of singer-songwriter types around, which is sort of what I do, but there's just great funk bands and great blues, and there's like heavy metal bands and rap artists and just like all kinds of really good original music. There's really good cover music. Like there's just a lot going on here, and there always has been. And like the venues kind of come and go. Like it kind of ebbs and flows as far as who plays where. Like I feel like I've sort of aged out of the downtown scene. Kind of. We still play at the Ballroom. We haven't played the Odyssey yet since it's been reopened, but we're looking forward to getting back in there. But like so the crowd kind of moves around, but. I don't know, Springfield's just great, man. There's great places to go see music. There's great music to go see. Mm-hmm. I don't know what more you want.
Yeah, not at all. Mm-hmm. Is there anything that you have noticed, like in places that you might have visited, other cities that you wish Springfield had for their music community?
Oh, golly, I don't know.
I know
nothing
that,
off the top of my head.
Yeah. I know that there was a musician that I talked to from Joplin, and he would play here a lot, and he asked me about, if we had an area that they shut down, like Walnut Street, that's sometimes, but, they do like this Porch Jams, so every so many houses, there's another band, and, just kind of cool, quirky things like that.
Yeah, that'd be really cool. I've talked to several people about doing something similar to that over in the Roundtree neighborhood.
That would be cool.
Yeah, so that's definitely an idea that's percolated around a little bit. Yeah. Especially now the weather's getting nice, And, I'm sure there's cool stuff like that all over the place, man. It's nothing I can really think of off the top of my head, but I think that'd be an awesome deal to do that Porch thing. Other people bring cool stuff back, like the Cover Me Springfield thing. I guess that was, I don't know if you remember that. Brett Miller had organized a couple years ago where there was a bunch of local artists that covered other local artists' songs for a night.
That's cool.
Yeah, and so everybody would do like I did. I did one of Eric Weiler's tunes and a Big Smith song. And the Big Smith song we did Burn Down the House, but did it like real funky and bluesy and and then did this Eric Weiler tune. And then everybody picked two songs by various artists around town. And so I guess he had seen that somewhere else and brought it back. And like I said, the Wild Bob's thing came back.
It'll get back around. Something like that.
Yeah, so cool stuff happens, moves here, stuff happens here, moves other places.
Right. Let's get to your next song. So what's this one all about? The background of this song.
I had to think for a second what it had been. This song is called Brand New Best Friend, and I wrote this song after I got back from going to Hillberry in 2019. I'd had a particular, sort of rough couple of years, and, it was just great. It was an awesome weekend. It was just uplifting and fun and enriching for my soul, and was just a really super nice, good time. And so I was like, I'm gonna write a song about dancing and singing on the mountaintop.
That's fun.
Yeah. So
that's what.
Some brand new best friend. And yeah, I met some new people and hung out and had some great conversations, and it was just like a really good, engaging experience.
Awesome. So we're gonna get to that song, and we will be back. We are back.
We're back.
So do you have any advice for people that are trying to get in the scene of the music industry here in Springfield?
I mean,
besides practice, because everybody says practice. If you guys have not figured this out yet, you just do not even need to be part of the music scene.
Excuse me, how do you get to Carnegie Hall? Practice. Sorry, old joke. I mean, practice. Yeah, sure. Man, hone your craft. Get out there and meet people. Don't be a dick. I think that's pretty much.
That's a theme too.
Yeah. I mean, don't be a pushover either. Don't take shit, but also don't just don't be a dick either. So those are pretty solid tenets for most adventures you want to go on in life, frankly, as far as I'm concerned. But yeah.
With your songwriting, do you have like a process on your songwriting? Do you have like?
I mean, not really. I mean, kind of. It's different, sort of, every time. But I mean, sometimes it starts with like a lyrical idea or like a thematic idea, and then sometimes I'll just like be playing and come up with like a little chord progression I like, or have a melody in my head, and then that, the kind of the mood of a melody can then suggest, themes, like happy or sad, or like, anxiety ridden. I mean, just whatever, like the sort of the but I also like writing songs that kind of are the opposite. Like lyrically, they'll be really dark and sad but sound like super peppy. Like the Snitch is like that. I mean, that's a song about a guy being murdered by his like meth cooking family and thrown in a river. Right. But it's like a doom kind of dance number, like I kind of like those things where there's like a little contrast between like the lyrical content and the feel of something, Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, my process, it usually involves a little bit of walking around. I like to walk while I'm walking around the house and strum while I'm trying to think of words.
Walk and strum.
And then I'll sit down and write out a line, and then I'll get up and walk around and think about the next one. That's about the only thing that's constant. Like once I'm on an idea and like actually writing the song, like it's kind of like fishing sometimes, like you'll throw ideas out there and try and get them on the hook, and it doesn't really work out. Like sometimes it just goes away instantly. You're like, yeah, it doesn't go anywhere. Sometimes you work on something kind of hard, and then it just ultimately doesn't actually, lead to anything at the end. And then sometimes you get it in the boat and fry that sucker up,
I like that quote. Yeah, songwriting is like fishing.
It can be.
Steve Ames.
Yeah.
So, on your nights that you play, what kind of, I like to talk about etiquette, just band etiquette, venue. Is there anything that stands out to you about what venues do for musicians?
Oh, I mean, all the places I play are awesome. I mean, they're like super, hospitable.
Yeah.
There's a lot of hospitality. They extend a lot of, kind of grace to us, and they're always nice and happy to have us and help us set up and, got our back. Like the only thing that ever gets kind of under my skin is like, it's kind of dicks in the crowd, like, not just people who like go out of their way to like come up and like, talk to you. Like I can't tell you the number of times that I've been playing and somebody will try to actually start a conversation with me in the middle of a song because I'm playing at like the Vandevort or like somewhere where there's not really a stage. Like you're just standing there in the corner, and so they just think like, oh, this guy's not doing anything. Hey man, like what are your thoughts on the economy? You're like it's usually like
as you're playing.
Yeah, it's always a request. Like somebody will come up as you're like I'll be in the middle of a line. And some, mook will come over and be like, hey, buddy, Old Town Road, or I don't know, whatever. What's the one everybody hates on? Wagon Wheel. Wagon Wheel? I don't know, whatever. It's just like, but yeah, some people just don't get it.
Oh, man. Yeah.
So that, that's, and, there's people that are, like, I don't mind people talking in bars and stuff. Like, there's this great piece of audio somewhere from Jim Croce where he's talking about that, and he's so I used to play this bar till like 4 a.m. and it was always like late at night, like fights would break out and whatever, and he's like, so he said that's why he stopped playing with the guitar strap, like so he could take his guitar off and jump over the bar and get out of the way of the brawls. But he's like, I don't mind people saying stuff and doing stuff because everybody's got to say something and do something. And he's like, just don't put your hands on me, And he says, but yeah, it's like kind of that way about it. It's like people, again, it's context, If you're at like a songwriter event and people are talking, that's way different than if like I'm playing music at like a bar or brewery, because people go there to talk and hang out and see their friends, they're not always there for the show, And so you have to be mindful of that. And I don't take anything personally, even if it's meant that way. It's kind of my own point of view. So. But if somebody's like really drunk and loud, and like people just want to, show off, or like they just get rambunctious because there's alcohol involved, and that can sometimes get under your skin. But I usually tend to deal pretty okay with that as long as they're not being like shitty. Like somebody's just rowdy, like whatever, man, we're at bars. You can be rowdy, but again, don't be a dick.
Right. I experienced this last weekend. Don't touch musician's gear.
Never, ever touch gear, ever. I thought that should go without saying.
Yeah.
Never touch a musician's gear without asking. And generally don't ask at a show. Hey man, can I get up and play your drums at the set break? Like, no.
Right.
No, you cannot.
Right. We got that with Brandon Moore when we interviewed him. We were at Founders Park, and these skater guys came over. It's like, hey, can I play your guitar? And he's like, no.
Sorry, buddy.
No.
Sorry, person I've never met. I'm not going to entrust you with my instrument.
No, that's not going to work. So, is there anything that stands out in the past couple years at a show for you? Besides the effect of, oh no, I can't play shows anymore because damn COVID.
Yeah, I mean, there's great moments. A lot of times, man, I don't, just.
I know I always enjoyed watching you with Queen City Show open mic. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. That was always fun. I enjoyed that. I liked, there's a couple times where we've got to play with like a full horn section. Back Low Down Fancy did that a number of times. And they were on the album and stuff too. And so that's always like a super treat playing with horns, Yeah, there's just some shows that, I don't know. They're all great, but some are just, a little more sizzle to them. Mm-hmm. So we played a Christmas show a couple years ago at the ballroom. Kyle put like a band together to do that. Oh, the last fall, I guess we played at Jack Mountain. They did a thing that Kyle put together as the Kyle Young Boogie.
A Boogie Down or something.
Yeah, the Mountain Boogie
like
or Boogie Mountain Down. I can't. But that was a great time. That was just incredibly fun. But they're all fun.
They all have their own little stories.
I'm not in it for the money, kids. If it wasn't fun, I wouldn't be doing it.
Yeah, see, there's some advice to you. You need to be in it for other things.
I can go stand in the corner at home and have people ignore me.
So there's some musicians that I've heard that actually street perform downtown. Mm-hmm. Have you ever done that?
I have. I've never done it as a habit here. I've done it just a couple times. I've done it more in other places. I've played Boulder, Colorado. We were out there when I was a young man. A friend of mine and I. We hitchhiked out to Colorado and then to the Grand Canyon, but we spent a week hanging out with a bunch of hippies down on Pearl Street, and I would do that and. A couple other spots here and there.
But, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't really see that many street performers down here. So let's get to your very last song. I really appreciate you being here with us.
Hey, it has been a hoot. I'll tell you what.
Oh my God!
It's just been. We'll have to do a behind the scenes of this behind the scenes to explain all the fun shenanigans that have contributed to our evening.
Yeah. I have burn marks.
Yeah.
Burn marks. Right here.
She sacrificed her body to make this show.
I only have 5 left, guys.
This last song is called Dead Man's Waltz. Thanks to Jimmy Ray for the name suggestion. It's, there's been a lot of sadness and loss, both generally in the world and specifically here in Springfield. Friends, Shane Rice, of course, recently. I lost my folks in the last couple of years, both of them. Just people. It seems like a lot of young folks have been passing too, and I don't know. I was just thinking a lot about death and sorrow, and me not really subscribing to a religious path. Death is pretty much it. And so when you're dead, you don't have to worry about bullshit anymore. But then also, like the song says, can't make love down the grave. So there's we got the time.
Yeah.
The dead have it easy, but we have time to do stuff. So so I wrote this song a week ago, and it's pretty fresh.
It is a beautiful, beautiful song. So
thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome. Now, before we go, so if anybody wants to book you for a show, where do they find you?
You can hit me up on Facebook via Messenger, or you can email the Hamburger Cows. Oh wait, there's no the. It's just hamburgercows@gmail.com.
And do you have any shows coming up in the next month? Because this will be after. This will be put out after you've had your shows this weekend.
No, I've got the 2 this weekend, and then next Friday, the 26th, I'm playing at Reed Spring Pizza down in Reed Spring. So if you feel like having award-winning, the best pizza in Missouri, nationally award-winning pizza in just one of the nicest little towns in Missouri, come on down.
Well, if it gets out there before then, then
and if
make
not,
sure. If not,
I'm sure I'm forgetting something in April. But
just go find him. Just message him.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you guys for having me. This has been great.
Yeah, it's been an adventure for sure. Yeah. Well, we're gonna have that song play us out. Until next time, guys. Thanks for tuning in.
Listening one day past the graveyard, I spied a big pile of bones. The skeletons all tried to tell me, if you lived here, you'd already be home. I thank them for their invitation. Told them I'd be on my way. She can't sing a song in a casket or make love down in a grave. Shed a tear, the dearly departed. Say a prayer for those left behind. Oh, the dead have it easy, while the living have nothing but time. Yeah.